Microphone check. Does my mic sound nice? Yes, it does. Welcome to this week's episode of It's About Damn Time. We focus on the real journey to being 1% better every damn day. Welcome to this week's episode of It's About Damn Time. I am Jared Dam, back in the building once again, and I know I normally do the intro here. I just want to talk. I just want to get this out. So it's one of those episodes. The last maybe 3 weeks, I've been okay, but I can tell that I haven't been myself all the way. Like I felt like there was some underlying anger, frustration, just kind of coasting through. Maybe certain situations that playing out, maybe at work or in personal life or things of that nature. The reaction was just probably maybe a little extreme. And I realized, and this always happens to me every year, since 2021. Well, I guess technically 2022, because the first year that happened. I had someone special to me pass away. That her birthday is August 11th, and I always know what's coming, but back in your mind, you working on different things. Merger at work, trying to monetize, trying to put these podcast episodes out, just trying to live life because, sheesh, be a father, all the stuff, right? And so it's not in the forefront of your mind, but it ends up being in your mind, like it's in your subconscious, and I think that's where it happens. And I tend to just get angry, and it wasn't until maybe like the 10th, the 9th of August, and my birthday's on the 11th, that I realized, oh shit. And I've talked about this before in previous episodes, but quick recap. We had a tumultuous history. But we had turned the corner in being friends. And she got sick during the height of COVID. And she kept calling and reaching out to me. And I went home for the holidays. I'm traveling back. I'm trying to just juggle stuff. I just kept saying, I'm a caller. I'm a caller. And then, slipped my mind. And then life was happening. And I didn't think about it. Because we would go like long periods of time without talking. And, I didn't realize until like 6 months later she had passed. And there's just always been a part of me that's felt guilty about that. Yes, I know I couldn't create a vaccine. I know I couldn't, I couldn't save her medically, but maybe I could have encouraged her to go to the hospital more. Maybe I could have been there. Maybe I could have something. And it haunts me. But strangely enough, add to the fact that I had death on my mind for that time frame as well. Not relax, I'm not trying to kill myself or anything, but just almost like a fear thing. Like, well, one, and I've said this on previous episodes before too, like I'm terrified of death. Now, have I been suicidal in the past? Yes, but that's about a control. That's about control. Um, but terrified of death and what happens thereafter, or if nothing happens. So it tends to haunt me. Like if I think about it for a long period of time, or it might pop in my mind. Like I need to distract myself. And lately, around 3 or 4 in the morning, uh, I wake up with whether it's a dream or a thought, or going to the bathroom and having a thought, and I have to distract myself all over again in order for me to fall back asleep. So that was happening on top of the little underlying anger and frustration. And then I saw an announcement this past Thursday night going into Friday that one of my college friends passed away. Now, I'm not gonna even begin to front, like, we talked all the time. People that are my friends, they know that I tend to vanish. And it's not like I intentionally try to do it. It's I get caught up in my own little world and everything that I'm working on. All my siblings do it. So maybe it's what we got inherited from our father, but excuse me. I vanish, and and so reach out on social media here and there and comment on stuff, but we wasn't extremely tight after graduation, but she's one of those people that just their presence, like no one had a bad thing to say about her. Like her presence, the way she joked, the way she laughed, her energy, um, it changed the game. And I think with all three of those things, I finally was able to emote because I internalized a lot. And I cried. I cried Friday for a good little while. I had to disconnect. Um, couldn't really focus on podcast stuff or anything else. I just had to sit in bed and watch TV. And I wasn't depressed. I just needed that time. And did it for like a day and a half. And then the walls felt like it was closing in, so I had to get out the house. And now here I am. And I think what sticks with me the most is that, what am I doing? Like, I literally have an 18-year-old who graduated, and she has her whole life ahead of her. And I think she has a clear goal. I think she has clear goals on what she wants right now. But then you can tell it's a large part of it is her just trying to figure it out. And how can I guide you when I'm 46 and I'm still trying to figure it out? You know what I mean? And I know so many people that are start figuring it out. So it's not, I'm not beating myself up as if I'm a failure because I don't know. It's like I see a lot of people from 18 to 46 and maybe even beyond. They don't know what are we doing? And when my friend, shout out to Monica Bilo. Bilo! That's what I used to do when I see her. Um, rest easy. But when she passed, and the announcement of her passing, I just started thinking, man, life is short. And I made a post about it. I was like, oh, life is short. You got to celebrate. You got to live life. No matter what it is, what obstacle stands in your way. And that's just all good and dandy. And it sounds good. and people like it or whatever. Or they sympathetic to of the loss, but how do you get past just saying it and go to doing it? Because I'm not gonna front right now at this very second. Um, I'm in a financial strain, and I have been um for the last few months. And I wouldn't even say living paycheck to paycheck. Um, it's more so living day to day. But as you try to fight your way out of the hole, and the economy, me not working for those 9 months and not recovering, having a high school senior, um, traveling, make sure your mom's good, all these little things, all these small things, all the things that you have to do, pay your bills, you sacrifice where you're not doing as much for yourself. How do you overcome that to live life? How do you live life and do the things that make you happy when you have been doing so much for others to make them happy that you don't know what happiness looks like on your own? I'm having a conversation with my friends right now via text, and she's like, "Well, I kept saying that I feel like my life is this podcast, and to a large extent, it is." And she's like, "But you're so much more than just your podcast. What do you want to do next? What makes you happy?" I told her I had no clue. I'm completely fucking clueless. So she's trying to work with me like, okay, well, what are some things that you like to do? Watch superhero content and eat. Excuse me. I mean, what I would do? I was on so many times you can see Spider-Man Brand New Day. And look, movies are expensive. I just told you to find out your holes. So what are we doing? We want to watch the same movies we've been watching over and over again? And you're in a financial hole, you maybe you can't drive, maybe your car disconnected, maybe whatever the case, you gonna go to different restaurants when you survive it off the McDonald's app and the Wendy's app. I know it's not healthy. I know it's not healthy, but it's cheap. You know what I mean? I sit here and have conversations with with a few of my friends and try to inspire them to take the time out for them. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Give yourself 10 minutes. Figure some stuff out. But I guess what I'm leaving out is how do you progress to that next level? I'm still fighting with them to actually pour into themselves to give them that time. But what if they call me out on the shit and they actually do it? Hey, Jared, you told me to do 10 minutes this week. I wrote down a list of things that I want to do. Now what? Hey, because I'm only just a little bit further ahead. Um, so here's what I was thinking. Life is fucking short. And you gotta live life. But you may not be able to live the life that you've dreamed or you want. Or I wish I could go to the vacation in Aruba. I wish I had the money to get 6 tattoos. I wish I could travel. I wish I could buy this. But maybe it's the baby steps. You know what I mean? Because let's face facts. Right now, at the time of this recording, the Powerball is like $1.5 billion. Let's say you hit that tomorrow. You go all of a sudden start traveling. All start eating the food that you want to eat, getting all your tattoos, doing all the things that you said you wanted to buy. Some of us probably will, and if we do that, we might end up being broke by the end of it. Some of us got a plan. We'll carry it out to the fullest. But I know me, and I know people like me that say they got the plan and everything, and then everybody who got a sad song, a sad story, you think about everybody who you can help out, you gonna put yourself last, and then you're gonna be imprisoned with that money. So it's almost like conditioning. It's almost like working out. It's almost like taking those walks. Stuff that I preach all the time. Stuff that I don't necessarily do all the time. But it's about building that consistency. I had a friend, Lil D. Shout out Lil D. Just talking to her today too. And she's conditioning herself. She knows she's a writer. And a damn good one too. She's like, I'm about to write every day. Something so simple, something so simplistic that you would think, hey, if I want to be a blank, I should do blank every day. If I want to be a writer, I'm going to write every day. If I want to be a podcaster, I should podcast every day. Content creator, runner, gymnast, basketball player, actress, analyst. You should do it every day. Every day, there should be time set aside. Whether you do it for 4 hours or whether you do it for 15 minutes, you should do it. That's the same thing I'm asking you to condition yourself to live the life that you want to live. And not me asking you, it's me telling me. I'm telling you, Jared, you're not ready to accept things. I'm not ready. My friend Deanna said, I know that it's hard for you to accept things, even when you're struggling. Yeah. Yeah. I hate taking stuff from my mom. When I was dating my ex-wife, and I didn't have money to buy my daughter a Happy Meal at that time, I was literally looking in my couch cushions trying to find change and crying because I was like, I don't think I'm gonna find a change. She was like, I can pay for that for you. That was hard. The only thing I'm good at asking for is asking for something for Brooklyn because it's my baby. And I've gotten used to that. But for me, I can live with a light song for a week or so. That's okay. Who needs the internet? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So here's where I am. Here's where we are. If you want the life that you've always dreamed of, that you always thought, only if I had this, or this, I could have that. You got to put the work in. We put the work in for everybody else. For the job, for family, for friends, for our kids. But I don't put the work in for myself. I hadn't bought shoes in 3 years. That is so hard to say out loud. I hadn't bought shoes in like 4 years, right? I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't bought shoes in 4 years. They slick at the bottom. I was walking to the mall the other day. It was a little puddle of water. I almost lost my life. What are we doing? Because I'm at the point. It ain't like I'm looking for Jordans or something like that, or I'm looking for. I'm not a sneakerhead, so rebuy some of them Adidas that's about $70. Set aside $35, with this paycheck and $35 with the next paycheck. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? I have talked for at least since I separated from my wife. I have talked at least, so that's what, going on 7 years about getting a tattoo. To the point that she laughs at me when we talk. She laughs at me. You still ain't got one yet. What are we doing? We fight for everybody else. Sometimes people that don't even matter. But we can't fight for ourselves. So that's all I got. Otherwise, I'm just going to be rambling. Damn challenge. Pick one thing that you've always wanted to do instead of plan to work on it. So if it's a trip, everybody and their mama is travel agents. Shout out to my girl V. Everybody is travel agents. You know somebody who knows somebody who's a travel agent. Have them do some research for you how much it costs. Be like, all right, this will be the deposit. Okay. I'm gonna hit you up next month. I'm gonna save 4 paychecks. Life is short. We don't know when everything is going to end. So the least you could do is find something that makes you happy and work towards it, because you and we deserve it. If the show resonates, pass it along. I know it hits because it hit for me. I needed to say this out loud. So until next time, I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me this week on It's About Damn Time. Hey, if you like what you heard, follow this podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and IG, and join the conversation on this week's episode. Link to all my socials in the show notes. You can also show love by simply giving me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And of course, for more blogs, pods, and other digital content, go to thewholedamnshow.com. Until next time, I'll see you next week.